My name is Jake Catterall, and I grew up in Loughborough, United Kingdom. 2022, I cycled a lap of Iceland. 2023, I ran the length of Europe, 5,600 kilometers. Last year, I ran the length of the European Alps. I just love running. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to see that after the projects that I've done over the last few years, why then do a 350 kilometer run through the Atlas Mountains? Bigger isn't always harder. This is a step towards a bigger goal of mine, and one day I would like to cross Antarctica, and that's everything that I've been laddering up to in my endurance career. I'm still not ready yet, but now that I've found a mission that's tested me in a new way, in a new place, in a new country, it opens my perspective of what I think is possible. Yeah, right now I'm training for my next crazy mission, which is to run 350 kilometers through Morocco. It's never been ran before. It connects the ocean to the high Atlas Mountains. And I basically have to do like 4 ultramarathons in a row on paths that like no one's ever really ran on before. And I live in the Netherlands, so there's absolutely no hills I can train on. And that's why I'm right here on the Stairmaster in the gym. Disaster. I left one bag on the plane on the way here that just happens to have some of the most important cables for my GPS tracking for the map. So the only way that I'm going to be able to run to Toubkal is using these watches, and thankfully I charged one of them full, but the other ones have half charge and the other one is quarter charge. So maybe between the 3 watches will be good. Everything for me for this project seemed to be kind of going a little bit too easy. That was until we arrived at the hotel and I realized that I left my camera bag on the plane. I then got a call from the mountain guide that I had booked weeks in advance, and he cancelled on me just after I found out that I'd lost the cables to my watch. We hadn't even started the run. So basically the reason why this watch situation is really important is because the map is literally the way that you can navigate. It's the way that you can find the trail. It's the way you can get to food and water. So if there is no map, there is no run. So like not having charge for the watches is very concerning. This was also the time that me and Ismail, for the first time, how long do you think that would take? Got to sit and assess the route. So I planned this whole route on Footpath, and of course, you are drawing lines in a country that you've never been to before. But this trip requires more than just a path. It actually requires a car and me, so finding a route that can account for both is actually quite important. So me and Ismail sat down to really assess like where we can go, and we found out pretty immediately that some of these connection roads were just not going to be favorable for how I was going to run on this trail and be supported properly. Change the route.
God.
I think deep down everyone knew it was a bad situation, but what are you going to do? Like, tomorrow we have to get the shoes on and we have to run, so we're not going to not run.
It's always nice to do it like a fly-in from somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go. My name is Jake Catterall, and I'm running from the ocean of Morocco to the high Atlas Mountains. This is the ocean. I'm going to the mountain, baby. Let's go!
Every time I do one of these trips, it almost feels a little bit like I'm going to battle. The mountains literally start at the ocean, and as soon as we made the turn up the road, we began the chain that would take us all the way to Footpath.
How are those first few steps?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
It feels pretty mixed emotions, for sure.
I started in this kind of cooler climate at the ocean, and almost instantly, as soon as I turned into the mountains, this sort of heat wave, this sort of oven-like feeling was starting to wrap around me, and the road literally went from highway to mud path. I was going through very spotty signal spaces, so when we thought there was going to be mobile reception, we realized pretty quickly that there was going to be zero. You know, so all comms were over. All comms were not working, except the ability to track me.
Sorry? Yeah. So can you repeat, because I can't hear you?
I completely ran out of water, so I really need a fuel. I realized that because of dehydration, my body was actually really starting to seize up. You go from, oh, I'm fine, to very quickly feeling very rusty, and you can get very desperate very quickly.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, red ambulance.
Tizian, who's filming, is also an ultra runner. He knows what a runner needs in this one moment. So it's like pulling the water bags out, putting cold drinks behind the neck. I can be silent in a moment, and there are a lot of things that I actually need right then and there, and it takes the mind of someone who's been in that situation to be able to solve them. My objective was just run as far as you can go, and on day one we got to 90 kilometers. KJ ran with me for a while, which was actually really nice. Having someone by your side just to try and keep your energy going and not think about your situation in a bad way, yeah, it was a nice way to keep the first day on track.
Yo, we're in Morocco. Okay, so we're day 2 now. Day 1, 90 kilometers.
Day 2 is when I had a real heat issue. The plan was I would set off, run into this big valley, but it felt like a heat that I've never experienced before. Like, it was this sort of cloak of hot air and hot sun. It just meant I was sweating loads.
And then let's stop.
Do you have water for him right now?
No, let's give him a water. I want a record him right now.
No, he needs water right now.
Wow.
Huh? We need to get him. We need to get more sugar and everything for him. This, or else he's gonna bonk pretty quick. It's too hot right now for him. Maybe a beer.
After the first stop, I just needed shade. Like, that was the thing that was pretty clear about Morocco, is that the sun strength is just very, very strong. So just being in the shadow is just so necessary. But of course, the things that we need to eat to continue the trip, because I need food to fuel my running, was a hot camping food bag. You want to eat a salad or something cold. You don't want to eat like a hot stew. 90 kilometers was my target. What I could see on my watch was that there was a slow climb, and after that climb was a nice slow descent. So I was just thinking, okay, even though that it's hot, and even though I have to sort of do a lot of hiking to kind of like get over these hills, I can nicely draft down the hill and not use so much energy for the next section. I kind of get down to the place where the car meets me again. I get in the car and I'm just like collapse in the car. Like, I literally curl up at a ball. And like, the only thing I actually wanted to do is just stop. It's weird. Like, you go from being like, I'm on top of the world and I can perform at a high level, to then just needing to curl up in a ball.
Maybe we should go like in the front, cook something, find the shade. So maybe you should need like take a rest for like half hour, just lie on the mat.
Yeah, the lowest point for me is about not being able to respond. Overheating, loss of water, and loss of salt. And those things combined also mean that my appetite was so low. So like, even whilst I'm running, I'm literally not able to eat anything, you know? And this is just a recipe for disaster.
Jake, do you want to eat? Do you want to eat?
Sorry?
Do you want to eat something?
Maybe. Is it a good place to stop or no?
It's fine. We can stop anywhere. It's quiet.
There's a bit of
Or do you want to? Do you feel like you're in a rhythm? What do you want to do?
There's always a switch in attitude at some point in the run. So like, I love the phrase like, this too shall pass. And I always know at some point, once you have reached your lowest low, there is only highs coming from here. And that has happened to me countless times, and I'm very comfortable with that philosophy. As soon as you can eat and the temperatures come down and you can actually take on some liquids, your mood is going to switch. The temperatures dropped. I've managed to take on fuel. You know, it's time to go to work a little bit now. There's always dangers at running at night, always, you know, mostly because you don't know what's out there. You know, you're in a foreign country, you're in a place you've never been before. But honestly, for me, like, being in the nighttime was a gift, because I was out of the sun finally. I'd been already running 10 hours in the sun. So for me, actually, running at night was a bit of time off, a bit of time where I could just put my music in and just focus. Hello guys, we're still running, but we're almost there. Bada bing, bada boom.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you
How are
doing?
we?
Yeah. How are you?
I think I'm gonna sit on this little stool here. That was
How was the warm up?
yeah, fun. So day 3 was always on schedule for being disconnected from the team. That was always a part of the plan. I would go back to the start point. Me and Ismail would start off from where we finished the night before. So it's going to be two and a half days to finish. We're getting there. And I would run an easy 10K down the valley. We would have a regroup, have breakfast, fill my bag properly with all of the things that I needed. until they would have to leave me for at least 6 hours. Running an ultra with no appetite and not being able to drink water and losing all this salt, I just wasn't feeling fresh. You know, after you've already ran 2 hard days, like it's hard to really understand what's going through your body at that time. So I wasn't actually feeling that good, but I just thought that was part of the trip. But actually, I was feeling sick. I was feeling unwell and my stomach was very tight. And when the crew car arrived, the first thing that KJ said to me was, "I think I've got food poisoning." Which I was like, oh my God, maybe that's why I feel kind of weird. And literally as I thought that, KJ said, "Guys, I gotta go." So KJ runs off and he just goes out into the distance. Literally the moment that he left, I feel it like immediately. Like I have to stand up outside of the car and run a little bit down the path and I'm just vomiting everywhere.
All right, so we're going for a little unsupported section now. The car can't get to us for roughly 6 hours. So we've had to load up a lot on water. Tiziana's gonna come and crew me. And hopefully we'll see you on the other side.
Tiziana and I basically made our first hike up the mountain, and it was apparent literally from the first 100 meters that my body was really zapped of energy and my stomach was tight and I just felt really heavy. You know, being dehydrated or having low salt, you can sort of battle it a little bit, but food poisoning is not something you really battle. You know, it's just something you have to deal with. But it just felt like a house of cards is falling like around me, and you have no option. The end is where the car can meet you in 6 hours' time. You understand that that is like, there is no option. You have to get there.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
You wanna eat?
I can't.
Maybe maybe you wanna have a bite of the protein bar.
I can't, mate.
It was probably the nicest mountain day of the whole trip, and for the best part of like maybe 5 hours, I was just looking at my feet. Like the whole time, I was so focused on just one step in front of the other that like I really found it hard to take in the environment around me. And of course, we were passing through these beautiful mountain villages and super remote areas. But what are you gonna do when your stomach feels like it's being ripped out of your body?
Hey guys, it's KJ here. We're about 5 hours into our journey to try and divert, to try and get around the mountain to get to Jake. It's been a real challenge, and Jake and I we picked up some kind of stomach bug last night. I don't even know what it is, but both of us haven't been able to eat anything. I have been fine because I'm not running right now, but Jake is still running. We are currently, I think, maybe an hour and a half out from them, and hopefully we can get to them soon. But we haven't had any comms with them, so we don't know what state we're gonna find Jake in at this point.
Yo, so he has right now really tough time. And he's asking if it's possible to meet you guys in this village, because he saw some roads and some cars that they're going to this village, but I don't know if it's possible. And I don't know if you have a service, but let me know.
It's good to see you guys.
It's great to see you, mate.
Fuck me.
That was the hardest day of my life, I think.
How you feeling?
How you doing?
Yeah, the craziest thing is that like I just ran 52 kilometers and I have no appetite like whatsoever. Like getting food poisoning today was probably the worst scheduling ever. The important thing is that I need to recover, and like food is the only thing that does that, you know, and rest. And if I don't have food or rest, then how am I supposed to run tomorrow?
I didn't reach my distance target by around 25 kilometers that day. And because I also missed the marker the day before by 20, I'm realizing that the math is not mathing right now. And in order to get through the next day, I would have to run a minimum of 100 kilometers. So a combination of being toasted by the sun, having no appetite, losing salt, dehydration, running a full day, being food poisoned, and basically no food at all. How are you supposed to run then 100 kilometers and so many vertical meters? Like it was asking way too much of me. So we needed to reroute the situation to avoid another complete day without the car.
Losing it. KJ, how you doing, mate?
Okay.
Okay, so here's the deal. We have a pretty hard cut on when the team needs to fly home, and we're going to adjust the route to make sure that we can summit Tubkal on the right day. And we're going to adjust the route on the fly, and we're going to see how that all goes. So we're going to lower the elevation slightly, but the end destination will be Tubkal. Day 4, it was basically pretty textbook. The reroute that we made meant that we took out a lot of the vertical challenge, but we still had a challenge on heat again, and that was obviously always in my mind.
And I think I'm gonna have to run 100k today in order to get to in there.
You think you can do it?
I don't know. Feeling semi-alive after a whole day of food poisoning yesterday. Let's see if we can get 90, 100k in the bag today. That's the plan. Good music, and yeah. Let's see if I can pull this one off.
I made it on the other side. I'm stepping right in my way. Not saying I'm not one of you. Not yet. Couple eyes are walking, beat is bouncing off me. It's punishing good. If my body's talking, it's saying nothing. So why you reading me? You're looking like a Russian.
Because of the lack of signal, the crew was having a hard time to have updates on the satellite tracking. It was not updating on their phones because there was no phone reception. So seeing my live location, I could have been 5k behind, but I also could have been 5k ahead. And to meet me further on would be a 20k diversion. But 20k diversion could be 2 or 3 hours, you know, and it's more about water management. If I don't see the crew for that long, like I've run out of water with no option to refill.
So we've set up an aid station here for Jake in the middle of this valley, but he's diverting his tracks to try and mitigate the hills and the incline. So he's been cutting through these valleys across from us, and I think he has cut across the valley without realizing that we're set up here to feed him after not seeing him for a few hours. Our driver's gone to find him, but it doesn't look like we have found him yet. So we've still lost Jake. Did you find him? Can you see him where he's tracked?
Yeah. You can't see him on the tracker.
I don't have data.
Oh shit.
The problem of this day was not the sun, and it wasn't dehydration. This time it was, I've had a lot of experience in the past about descending off very steep mountains. Sometimes if you cannot see the trail, coming down a big mountain or a big ridge can pose a lot of big problems, because if the ridge becomes too steep and you're too far down, you either have to commit and go down a very steep mountain, which can be dangerous, and if you decide that you don't want to go down, then you're going to have to hike all the way back up, you know? And I think that was the moment when this Footpath app was actually something that really showed its quality, because after I was making this descent, which wasn't so clear that there was a trail, eventually after coming down, there was this perfect, nice trail that cut all the way down to the bottom of the valley. And thankfully, that's actually where the team was.
Yo! Oh, so good to see you guys. Oh my God. Can of Coke. Oh, fuck. Thank you, man.
Good job. Good job. We've got a seat and a mat over here.
Yeah, Matt. I need to do a little leg raise, I think. You look ready for a run.
I'm gonna run with you.
Yeah, sick.
You're gonna need it.
Such a relief. Oh my God, I've just been wanting to move my toes for so long.
So to put into distances as well.
Yeah. Oh. When we got past the mountains and past the river, the link from there was basically a road that would take us to the final village, but it would mean that I would have to run in the night on a sort of trucker road, which just had so much dust everywhere, you know, and I'm looking at my clock and it's like 9 p.m, 10 p.m, 11 p.m, and we're still not there yet. But again, at all costs, we needed to make 100 kilometers. So yeah, to be honest, those last kilometers was just like a real heavy load on the body, but also mentally. Everyone's been up 4 days in a row trying to manage this run, and on this day we're all up at 1 a.m. running into the night.
This is where we need the selfie video. It's like
Selfie video.
this is where we need the selfie video where it's like filming you and then it's like filming me. Oh God.
Oh my God. Oh, you have no idea how sensitive my feet are right now.
Somehow for me, my mood changed so much on the last day. I took on food, my mood adjusted, and I was actually starting to gain a lot of energy from the fact that I'd gotten through already the hardest parts, and actually climbing Tubkal was going to be the victory lap. It was like going to be the most straightforward part, and it was. And what I noticed immediately was actually the crew was having a hard time with carrying the cameras and moving at the same pace as what I was doing. I just ran 4 ultramarathons before trying to summit the tallest mountain in North Africa.
And do you think he's crazy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not easy. My height is high.
I will never do with you high altitude projects. Never. And I'm recording this as a proof.
We have.
If you come to me like, hey, let's run Kilimanjaro, like, don't even touch me with this idea.
Yeah, the top was pretty crazy. But for me, like, something that I've learned along the way is that, like, never put too much emphasis on the ending, because it can be anticlimactic from the beginning. And when I got to the top, it was just another success for me. Like, I'd spent 4 or 5 months planning this project, and being on the top, sharing it with the crew and completing it in the way that we did, it was hard. Like, we had so many hurdles and so many problems to solve along the way. And when you get to the top, you can just look back at what you've done and be like, guys, we did it.
Yeah.
You're done with this project. What's next? My mum asked me that question when I ran across Europe, and she gave me a good idea to run across some mountains, and that's exactly what I did the next year. So I think maybe I need to ask my creative director, my mum, and then maybe she'll tell me what's next.